This piece we were able to find on Facebook Marketplace, and it was a dresser that had a mirror on the back of it. So we took the mirror off and we're wanting to update it. And I had this idea when I first saw this one to create like a geode kind of feel. So I took my black first, and after I sanded and prepped, and I took off all the hardware and all of that and filled the holes, as you can kind of see there. And I was keeping the original hardware on this one, so I didn't have to fill in those holes there. But I created this first layer of paint. I didn't use primer on this one because this paint here in particular includes primer, so I didn't have to do that. So it kind of just dissected with the black and it kind of wrapped around, and then I added my deep purple. So right now I'm just creating the base of the layers for this piece, and then I'm blending that out just a little bit just so that the line isn't so harsh. And again, this was a purple chalk paint, same with the black. The black was charcoal and this purple was a eggplant, I believe. And then I went ahead with a white to come across and make that pop even more. So as I began to blend a little more, I wanted to now create the edge of what would be this depth for the gold, for the texture that I was going to create. So I took and added white between that purple and the black layer and all the way around and blended that purple out a little bit. Now I came in with some gold, and this gold was just an acrylic paint, and it was a shimmery metallic gold. And so I just used my little blending brush here, just dabbed a little bit of it, and I took off the excess and then just went in and added some more depth, blending, and just dabbed that all the way around. And this is going to be a place where I was going to put some of the gold leafing that I come in with here in a moment. So I did that to the whole thing. And just kind of went with the flow of it. As you can see here, now I'm adding my gold leafing. And this you can get on Amazon, some craft stores as well. You can get it from there. And I just used some Mod Podge. Now, looking back on this, I wish I would have used a glossy finish for the Mod Podge. I used what I had, and it doesn't look bad whatsoever. It is a matte finish, but if I wanted some of the extra glow, probably would have used a gloss or a high gloss finish or a glue. But it dried clear and it still looked absolutely fabulous. But that would be something that if you're doing this for yourself and adding that gold leafing. So that day, each little gold leaf was placed tediously. So I ended my project for the day. And when we came back in the morning, I added more Mod Podge over top of that gold leafing just to seal it in. So that's why you can kind of see that film over the top of it. It did dry clear, but that's why you can see that. So I'm just adding some more here to create some more depth to show you the placement. And it's a bit delicate to work with. And this project taught me a lot of patience when it came to creating that art, because it took quite some time. I want to say probably about 7 hours of just what I've done so far here to this, but well worth the effort. And you can see that there is that stripe of silver. That is a silver rock, kind of like a pebbling that I had. So I added that. And then here, before I go to add that clear coat, I also added, you can see that dark blue right where I'm painting there, or adding that clear coat. I blended that black into it by using the deep blue. And then the top where we go from the gold into the white, the purple into the white there, I added a nice little peachy color as well. So it really stands out in the daylight because, of course, I took this outside to add that Rust-Oleum high gloss finish. And I did about 4 coats of that. And I did that because there's so much texture on this piece, but I wanted it to be able to withstand use, right? And being able to rub up against it if you happened to, without anything falling off. You can, of course, feel the texture, so it didn't like bury the texture. But here's how she turned out. It was absolutely beautiful. This one has to be probably my favorite piece. That beautiful old style vintage feel and updating it and taking off that mirror was a great decision, I feel, for this piece. I kept the original legs and the hardware. It's absolutely beautiful. Thanks for tuning in to see my process.